Folks, I'm about to show you the ultimate organic liquid blueberry fertilizer, and it only has 3 ingredients. So let's get to it. To make this fertilizer, you need 3 ingredients: blackstrap molasses, seaweed fertilizer, fish fertilizer, and you need a bucket or some other sort of vessel that's got some volume markings on it to mix it in. Before I get started explaining the details of this fertilizer, I would like to disclose that the recipe that I use, and for the most part my entire fertilizing system, was not of my own creation. I actually got it from a website called backyardberryplants.com. The only business association I have with them is that I've purchased plants from them. They are a terrific supplier of all different kinds of organic blueberry plants. One interesting thing to note here: if you need more fertilizer than the largest vessel you have will hold, you can mix a whole bunch more ingredients into that vessel, making what I'll call a working solution that's more concentrated than the fertilizer you actually put on your plants, and then further dilute that working solution to make the fertilizer you actually put on your plants. And the reason I do that, it's a lot easier to mix the stuff once and then dilute that mix than it is to make 2, 3, 4 or more batches individually. I have tried that. It works. It's just a lot more time consuming. In my case, I can't really make more than about 4 gallons without slopping it all over the place. But today I actually need 8 gallons, and so what we're going to do is we're going to make 4 gallons at double the concentration I would ordinarily use, and then I'm going to dilute that 1-to-1, and that diluted solution will be the fertilizer I put on my blueberry plants. Okay, so step 1 is to put about 2/3 the total volume of water into the bucket. Okay, so the first ingredient I always put in is the molasses. And there is a reason for this. The order you mix the ingredients doesn't affect the fertilizer. However, the molasses tends to be really viscous, as you can tell. And since it is a food product, I don't think much about putting my hand in there to make sure I get all of it out. It's also the slowest to disperse in the water. And the thing of it is, the molasses, if you get it on your hands or even your clothes, it'll come off. And I'm not sure how obvious it is on camera, but the molasses tends to sink right to the bottom. You have to stir it a little bit to get it to dissolve and disperse into the water. Okay, there we go. Okay, so ingredient number 2 is going to be the seaweed fertilizer, and you need to make sure you shake this bottle up before you use it. Alright, so now that I've shaken up the seaweed fertilizer, we'll just add that, but you notice it's noticeably less viscous, and it basically just goes right in there. I'm still going to give it a stir, though. Now, ingredient 3, the final ingredient, is Neptune's Harvest Fish Fertilizer. And the reason I use this as the third and final ingredient is because it smells like fish. By putting it in last, I minimize the chance that it's going to splash all over the place and get in on my hands or stuck on my clothes or something, because if you do have that happen, the smell will linger. Now, it's not a particularly bad smell, unless you're particularly averse to the smell of fish, but it's really tough to get rid of because it's kind of oily, and I figure it's better not to go about the rest of my day smelling like fish fertilizer. And if you notice, this goes in That goes in pretty easily as well. Now I'll give it a final stir before I add the rest of the water. And as you might have noticed, the fish fertilizer goes in at a much higher concentration than the other two ingredients. Now, I'm not a fertilizer scientist, but my understanding of the way this formula works, the fish fertilizer is really the fertilizer that does most of the work, and the molasses, the blackstrap molasses, works as a mineral supplement, and the seaweed fertilizer provides a whole spectrum of micronutrients. Now, the fourth and final step here is to add water until we reach the total volume we're shooting for. And in this case, that's 4 gallons. And what you'll notice, now that the fertilizer that's in there is a lot darker, it gets to be a lot easier to see where the actual liquid level is on the outside of the bucket, and that's why I like to use a white bucket. Alright, now that this has been mixed up, I actually only have one marked bucket, so to do the dilution, I have to pour this into yet another unmarked bucket. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing to do. It does give you a chance to make sure that there's nothing sitting on the bottom, especially the molasses. But now that that's been done, I have to pour half of this back into here. And hopefully I can get through this without turning it into a vaudeville routine. Now, we're going to take this and we're going to dilute it 1-to-1 with water, and we're going to end up with the fertilizer that I'll actually apply to the blueberry plants. Now, as you'll notice, it's hard to fill a can like this without slopping it around. That's why I do it on the ground. Because if you did it on a picnic table or the bench that I did some of the mixing on, then the fish fertilizer gets into that, and the bench smells like fish for a while. Alright, watering can number 1. Alright, so finally I'll explain a few details about how I use this backyardberryplants.com fertilizing program. The granular fertilizer goes on in early spring, and around here, because we're kind of in a cold area, that typically is sometime toward the beginning, maybe the middle of May, maybe it depends on the year, but that goes on ahead of the liquid fertilizer. Once the blossoms start to fall off the individual plants, that varies a little bit because some plants produce berries and flowers a little earlier and some a little later depending on the variety. But once you use the granular fertilizer once the blossoms are off, it's the liquid fertilizer mix. I have the recipe and the formulas for all that down below. I'll also have more information on my blog post that goes along with this video. But this will get applied every 2 weeks through the end of August, and depending on where the weekends fall, it might be the very beginning of September, and at that point, I stop. I have been told repeatedly you don't want to fertilize blueberries late into the cold season. The one thing I don't do is apply any of this stuff as a foliar feed, not because I don't think it's a good idea. I'm sure it is. I simply just don't have any way to spray it on there. All I have is the watering cans, and there's no room for yet another sprayer in the garden shed. In years that I did nothing, 2020 most obviously, an FU coronavirus, but in 2020 I didn't fertilize liquid or granular, and you can tell. You could tell last year, and you can tell this year because the plants simply don't look as good this spring as they have in the past. So I have faith in this system as being quite effective. Okay, so this brings me to the end of another video. Thank you for hanging out all the way through. While you're here, if you could please subscribe to my channel and watch another video all the way through. Both those things help this channel grow, and I do appreciate it. So goodbye for now, and I'll see you in another video.